Man, what a blast of a movie Ready or Not is. I really enjoyed it and I finished watching it and I'm like, I'm gonna watch this again. And that's pretty rare for me because once I watch a movie, I'm done. You know, I enjoy it, I have the experience, and then I move on to the next one. But this one really had a lot going for it. It had like suspense in it, horror, and some dramatic moments, surprisingly too. And Samara Weaving really is quite a presence on screen. And correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe some of you even agree with me that she looks a lot like they call it like Margot Robbie. They could be sisters. You could switch them around. You could put Samara Weaving in the role of Harley Quinn, and no one would know the difference. You know, and of course, listening, you hear her last name, and her uncle is Hugo Weaving. Hugo Weaving as Mr. Smith in Matrix films, and also he was in Lord of the Rings, and he has had quite a career. Also, V for Vendetta, can't forget about that. And she's carrying on the tradition of her uncle, and I believe she has other members of the family that's also in film as well. But this movie really was just insanely crazy. She comes into this family by her marriage to Alex, right? And she's thinking, okay, I'm gonna be married to this family. She knows his dad and mom don't like him, and other members of the family, even her Aunt Helene, that girl, really crazy looking lady. I mean, she as a youngster, a young woman, lost her husband to the game of hide and seek. I believe it was hide and seek, right? Because all these did, they showed him getting arrows in him, and he's and actually it was and he of course gets killed. You even see his corpse later on in a cellar where all the other bodies were thrown in, and you see the arrows in the corpse, so that was him. And she even said, and Aunt Helene even said that she should have killed him because she realized that that's what needed to be done, And she finds out that she's gonna have to play a game. What kind of game, Her husband's like, whatever game, like that. She goes, well, if I play checkers, I'm one hell of a checker player, And she doesn't realize, that some serious business is about to take place. And then they have this thing, this box that pass around, and then she selects a card, and it happens to be the hide and seek card, and she thinks, "Oh, hide and seek. Let's play hide and seek." The game that we all played as kids, right? And she doesn't realize that as she finds a dumbwaiter to hide in, the dad is handing out weapons. It don't matter what kind of weapon, if you're adept to it or know how to use it. Speaking of Emily, who that klutz, every weapon she had in her hand, she would kill somebody. I mean, granted, they were the help, the maids, I guess, or the servants. Shoots one she blasts one's almost the whole face off with a shotgun, and then the other one, she has a crossbow, and then she shoots the other one in the eye. So all kinds of craziness is already happening with this movie, right? And while she's waiting, she's hiding. These guys get her weapons. Even the guy Fitch, husband of Emily, is like looking at a YouTube video on how to use a crossbow. It's like that's how bad he is. Like he can't even use a crossbow. He has to watch a YouTube video. And it's funny because the two guys that were saying, teaching how to use a crossbow is actually the writers of the film. So that's kind of funny. You got a chance to be in the movie, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's to me, I thought that she was gonna start killing people. She was gonna kill off each member of the family, right? Oh, I don't know how I can forget that. Andy McDowell playing the mother, and she's the one person that Grace kills in the family, and she uses that box that you know, they used to draw the card, right? And yeah, the way she did it, she used that box and she pretty much just smashed her head in, and that's what set off the family. Like, yeah, especially that last part when they pull the curtains back, dramatic, and they're all like this, and nothing happens. Oh, it's bullshit. But Fitch says, because really, it wasn't until like the end, and we all know how it ended. That's when all of the members of the family started dying. Well, of course, Alex's brother was shot by his wife, and that was kind of sad because Daniel was like a guy who, in the end, he realized that he needed to help Grace, and he pretty much tried to help, and then his wife saw that he was in front of her. He's like, "Get out of the way!" And when he didn't, she shot him, and he starts bleeding out from the neck, and at least Alex was able to see his brother before he died, and told him not to go because it was like he loved his brother. And he knew that his brother was a good guy. He was played by Adam Brody, and we know him from a number of movies out there. I know his name. I'm not familiar with his his body of work, but I've heard that he's a very respected actor, and he was very good in the role of the brother. And the one thing I liked also was the butler, and when she was able to commandeer his car. And then what happens is that it's like a whole thing that happens with cars nowadays. You have a car, and if it's reported stolen, the company, whoever, security company, whatever, will shut your car down. And her car was shut. She cut the car down. They shut the car down because to them it was stolen. And the movie was just brilliant. Had a good mix of all kinds of genres in it. And I mean, you have horror, drama, you have a thriller, and you kind of experience what Grace is going through. You feel it, from the moment she fell into the cellar where she saw all those corpses, the kid of Emily shooting her hand. And then when she is able to get herself up on that rickety ladder, falls, she's hanging, and when she goes to reach with her other hand, she has a hole in her hand, and the nail goes through it. And I was thinking, man, maybe she's lucky because she was able to latch on because the hook, it still hurt her though. And just the way that the servants were being killed was hilarious, man. One servant gets her face nearly blasted off. The other one gets a bow and arrow through its eye. And then we had one who actually was there, according to her, because she dances good. Well, that's why the father liked her. And she was actually the dumbwaiter. Grace wanted to switch places with her. And then somehow she turned the thing on, and it was going up as she was halfway out, and she gets crushed. But the way that the family, died at the end, met their maker, if you will. It just goes to show that it actually was true. That if they didn't sacrifice or perform the ritual with Grace, sacrificing her, they were going to die. At first, nothing happened. And then all of a sudden, one by one, they started imploding. Just exploding, blood, guts all over the place. Alex was the last one. I'm special. It's not going to happen to me. They're not going to take me. And he explodes. And then all of a sudden, you see the gentleman that they were appeasing, the person that they were doing this ritual for, shows up, kind of winks at Grace. And then she goes out the door of the mansion that's, coming down in flames. It's burning up. And she's on the stoop there, and police are all over the place. And one guy goes up to her and goes, "Man, what happened? Are you okay? What happened here?" And then she says, "In-laws." Well, what do I think about the movie overall? Well, As you can see, I really was very entertained by the film. Man, the movie was just all kinds of craziness. And it's a kind of movie that really keeps your interest. It's an hour and a half, hour, you know, 30 minutes, 35 minutes long, about 95 minutes long. And it was just perfect, you know. I like Samara Weaving. I've never seen anything she's done before. And it's really opened my eyes to her and her abilities on screen. Really good, great presence, very pretty girl. She's a good actress, you know, and she really played off with the other characters and really showing that, you know, at first she's kind of like, you know, kind of like not understanding what's going on, you know, like really, and then she becomes one tough girl, tough bitch. Actually, that's just like, I say that in the kindest way. She really takes it to each and every one of them. She starts outsmarting them, and in the end, you know, she's the last one standing. I'm thinking to myself, is she going to inherit the fortune of this family that created, you know, and made their fortunes off of making games? And even like the father said, oh, we acquired 4 professional football teams, you know. But I kind of am glad what happened to the family because they're pretty twisted. They're pretty like they deserved it. Even Alex said it, but then again, he was playing his wife as well. So, you know, I'm kind of glad that he got it. He got his in the end as well. But yeah, this movie was just great. It was a blast, and I enjoyed it so much. And I may watch it again. And like I said, I've never done that with another film. You know, it takes a real special film for me to go see it again. But I may do so because it was just that fun, that much fun. But you know, that's my thoughts on Ready or Not, and was so much better than I thought. I mean, it was what should I say? It was like it didn't disappoint me, and it was as good as I thought it was going to be. There you go. Well, that's my video, and for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, I appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. And in closing, as always, take care. Please remember to subscribe, click like, and click the bell icon for all notifications on this channel.